Hi, good evening. My name is Michael Ogechi Abii, and I am a licensed real estate agent in Maryland and Washington, D.C. Reason why I'm making this short video today, well, first of all, thanks for tuning in to watch this. But the reason why I'm making this video is because I wanted to kind of summarize why I feel I would be the best agent for your business. Let me start by saying this. Real estate industry has changed. It's not what it was 10, 15 years ago. So our roles as agents is not what it used to be. It's a lot different now. 10 years ago, the agent did everything. Did the search, found a home, and as a client, either as a seller or as a buyer, pretty much you relied on the agent for all those things. Our role has now changed in the sense that the internet has made everything a lot more, a lot more accessible. As a buyer, now you can go online and you can find homes from the different companies that provide this information. You've got Redfin, Zillow, Trulia out there. And as a seller, it's the same thing. You can pretty much go out there and, find out how much your neighbor's home sold for. So that's a good thing, because what it means is that as an agent, we can now do the jobs that we're supposed to do, which is to either help the buyer put together the best contract, that can get them their dream house, or in a seller's position, what we really should be doing is making sure that as a seller you're getting the best deal for the home that you're going to put on the market. And as an agent, one of my duties would be to market your home to buyers. As an agent for a buyer, my duty would be to provide you as a buyer, one, the most accurate information that we can use to get you the best deal for your home. So that's really what it boils down to. It boils down to the agent doing his job, being professional, partnering with you, making everything as transparent as possible, and making sure that whatever deal that he, the agent, puts together is a deal that will succeed. So what makes me different? Why would you, as a buyer or a seller, decide to choose me as your next agent over the other agent from, the company down the road? I bring 10 to 12 years of professional experience to the table. So what that means is that, if I am putting together a contract for you, it is based on, one, my professional experience, which is considerable. It's also based on the fact that I may do some things that the other agents may not necessarily think of. If I'm marketing your home, I'll think of other groups, diverse groups. I may decide to market your home to embassies. I may decide to market your home to groups that belong, to foreign investors. I may decide to market your home, in areas or quarters that other people may not think of. And if you're a buyer, I may, for instance, decide to approach certain sellers and let them know that I have buyers who are willing and able to buy their properties. These may be sellers who have not yet put their homes on the market, but are thinking of putting their homes on the market and don't necessarily want to go through the hassle of advertising their homes, in the short term anyways. So these are the different ways that I may do things a little differently to get you, different results. First thing I'd like to say is before I start anything, I always like to meet up with my clients. I always like to have an informal meeting just to let us get to know each other. And in that meeting, I will ask a couple of questions. You'll be able to ask me a couple of questions. And then we can decide if this is a partnership that we want to start, to go ahead in order to either sell or to buy your home. And what do I do? Kind of questions that I ask. Financing. Have you been pre-qualified? And this is, of course, if you're buying a home. What areas are you looking at? What schools are you looking at? What's your ceiling? What's your budget? What's your monthly budget? Have you approached a bank or a credit union or, anything of that sort? So those are the kind of preliminary things that we'll cover. If you're a seller, I'll ask you a couple of questions about the house. I'll do a visual inspection of the house. And if I feel that I need to recommend that you have a professional inspector come in, I'll do the same thing. I am not a professional appraiser, but what I can do is do a check of what sold within the last quarter or within the last 6 months. That will give us an idea of the market value of your home. For instance, if the home up the road sold 3 months ago or 2 months ago, for $200,000, and it was a 5-bedroom home with 3.5 bathrooms, and your home is the same, exactly the same home, that will give us an idea of what value your home is in today's market. The difference, an appraiser may come in and check some other things. For instance, if you have a swimming pool out there or that kind of stuff, that may make a little bit of difference. And a professional appraiser can make adjustments to allow for that. But again, my job is to make sure that I give you the most accurate information based on, my qualifications. So we'll get together, we'll talk about, the pricing of the home if you're a seller. As a buyer, we'll talk about financing, we'll talk about what areas that you want to be in. We will also talk about the process, whether you're a buyer or a seller. For instance, if you're a buyer, we're going to talk about the home inspection process, we're going to talk about the appraisal process, and we're also going to take a very close look at the contract, because that's very important. Contracts have changed over the last number of years. I'm told by some of the old timers that we used to have a one-page contract. That's not the case anymore. Right now we have a contract that can go upwards from 15 to 36 pages. And that's because over the years there have been lawsuits and it's added upon the language that's involved in the different contracts. So that's something that we will take a close look at. I always recommend to either my buyers or my sellers that if you have an attorney that can look over the contract for you, I would always recommend that. Because what that does is it gives you an idea from a legal perspective what you're signing, what you're getting into. Because I'm not a lawyer, I can't make any comments on that. However, due to my experience, I can obviously explain certain terms on the contract and tell you exactly what they mean. So, having said all this, I would like to say that my hope is that by having watched this video, you will be able to, have taken enough away to know that my aim is to be as professional, as honest, as truthful as possible. And what I really want to do is create a partnership. When I represent you in either selling or buying your next home, I'm your partner. I'm not just the agent from across the road who's trying to make some money off of the next deal. What I'm doing is I'm partnering with you. When we're putting that contract together, we're sitting down together, we're looking at the different things. I'm telling you what I think is right, and you can give me your opinion as well. And then we can craft together a successful partnership in order to get the best deal that will get you your next best home, or put together the best deal in order to sell your home for what you want and what the market is worth for your home. So please give me a call. I am accessible via email, via Twitter, via my website. You can contact me on my contact tab on the websites, or you can just send me an email directly at oabii, that's Oabii at yahoo.com. Again, that's Oabii at yahoo.com. You can also give me a call on my cell phone at 301-793-4226. I am licensed with Fairfax Realty in Greenbelt, Maryland, and our office address is 10210 Greenbelt Road, Suite 120, Lanham, Maryland. And so you've got all those details. Do not hesitate. If you just have questions, that's not a problem. Shoot me an email, and I will answer your questions as truthfully as I can. But again, my aim is to be your agent, to be able to successfully, hopefully, get you that next home or sell your next home successfully. Thanks for taking the time out to listen to me. I appreciate it. And have a great day. Thank you so much.